Hi, everyone. Welcome to Girl Scouts of Silver Sage Cookie Bites. This is our So Many Options episode where we're going to talk about all of the different ways that you and your girl and your troop can choose how and whether they want to participate in the entrepreneurship programs. I am Kim Ross, and I am here with Kim version 2.0, the upgrade, Kim Husin. She is here remote from Houston. We're so excited to have her with us and excited to have you joining us today. Kim, would you go to the next slide, please, and we'll look at our agenda for today. We've got a packed agenda today. Great. So we're going to, so we're fairly punny around here. So here we're going to talk about how you can choose your own Adventureful, which is one of our cookie varieties. And then we'll talk about the fall product program, which is coming up here in about a month is the first day of the fall product program. We're going to take a look at the cookie program from the girls' perspective and then also from the troops' perspective. And then we've been talking about choices for the first 4 pieces of our agenda. The 5th portion of our agenda is going to be some non-negotiables, some things that are very important, like getting receipts for every transaction and making sure that you are communicative with your troop volunteers and families. Next slide, please. Alrighty, so these are some of the ways that you can choose your own adventure with the product programs. Your girl can do in-person sales. That includes things like taking orders on an order card for cookies and for the fall product program. And then also the cookie program offers opportunities to be at cookie booths. We have a slide coming up that'll talk about different kinds of cookie booths. There are several, and they have several different guidelines that go along with each. And then girls also can participate online. They can set up their own web store. They can set up emails to go out to their customers with links to their web store. And those emails are great when they go through the systems. So M2 is our fall product program vendor, and so we'll sometimes call that M2OS or the M2 computer system. And also it's great when emails go through Digital Cookie, which is our cookie program web system. Then families typically would text links to the girls store, and then also on social media you can send links to your girls store as well. And often girls don't have their own phone or social media account. So those are times when family members would do that on the girls' behalf. And then we have some things we want to share with you on the non-negotiables page about some of the ways that girls can assist with those pieces, even though they don't have accounts there. Next slide, please. All right, Kim, why don't you take it away with the fall product program?
Sure. So our fall product program, which this year is going to start on September 9th for the girls, is a very simple program. There's one total order that gets submitted by the troops, and then they get the product sometime in November. Girls deliver it. Done. It's a one and done deal. So when girls are taking orders, they can do so in person. They'll get a order card with all of the different items on it that they can hand deliver to a customer. They also have the choice to do it online. And this program, one of the things I love about it, it's so easy to just do the online only portion. They set up their web store through the M2OS, and then they can go in and email all their customers. There is a link to share their site, which should they want that cute little personalized patch, they do have to click on the share my site feature. Then they can go in, and once that the program is ready to launch on September 9th, those emails can go out prompting their customers to come to their stores. They can order magazines, the cute little stationery items, bark boxes. We have a new line of candles this year, Tervis tumblers on there, and Tervis has come out with a couple of new designs and different styles that to promote on the Girl Scout shop this year as well. Also, for the nuts and chocolates, there are 2 different options. They can have those either direct shipped to customers, or they can choose to have those girl delivered. So that option is there. There is an option when they are sending those emails to turn off girl delivery for nuts and chocolates. So if you've got grandma in another state and you're just not going to see her, you know don't want her to select girl delivery, you can click it off. And then when grandma clicks that link in her email, she's not even going to see that girl delivery is an option. It's just, direct ship to her, no matter which one she picks. Some of them can be combined. Like I know you can combine a magazine with your chocolates and nuts purchase, but not all of them can. Some of them get direct shipped from the vendors, so they cannot be combined. But again, super easy. Just, and additionally, the girls get to create a cute little like custom avatar that they can make look just like them. They've got Girl Scout gear that the avatars can wear. My daughter likes picking the cute little bunny slippers on her avatar. I know another girl who likes putting the reindeer antlers on her avatar every single year. So there's some cute and fun little things that the girls can do with it. And it's very much a simple, easy program that just gives the troops some extra money at the end, at the beginning of the year. Anything you wanted to add?
Oh, yes. The fall product program, as Kim mentioned, is easy. I think that is our favorite part about it. It really doesn't take much effort for a girl to work with her family to get the emails entered of either past customers or aunts, uncles. It's mostly a friends and family program in that there's not a nationwide marketing campaign behind it. So there aren't cookie booths for fall product. They won't be out at a store or anything like that. It's just a specific order of exactly what the girls have ordered on their order card. So the troop doesn't have to have any inventory or anything like that. It's just, place the order, receive the items, distribute them to the girls, and then the girls distribute them to the customers who asked for it to be delivered by the girls. So super easy and a fantastic way to get funds for the troop in the fall. Oh, yes. Cookie
Yay!
program. All righty. So the cookie program has so many different facets to it, and all of them are optional. We want to make sure too that not only is the girl able to participate in that decision making, so what she wants to or is capable of doing on her own, but that she also works with her troop to make some decisions, and that the parents are involved in the, oh gosh, what word would I call it? The possibility. So whether it's feasible, maybe that's the word, feasibility for the family. If there's a 7-year-old who wants to sell 4,000 packages of cookies, that's awesome. Like, we support that 1,000% if she is willing and interested in doing that. And also, she needs rides to cookie booths, and she may need help delivering cookies. She can't drive and that sort of thing. So do make sure that you're communicating with your girl and also attending those meetings with the troop and other families in the troop to make sure that everyone's expectations are met and that what the girl wants to do is tempered by what's possible within your family. So there are things that sometimes aren't feasible because you will be traveling or because someone in the household is ill, because you don't have an automobile, all different kinds of things. So please don't feel any pressure whatsoever to go beyond what's feasible for your family. And also allow for your girl to do as much as she can to gain these skills. So looking at the different options here, one of those is the order card, also called an order form, but we typically call it an order card. We want the girls to be able to take orders. If they would like to go door to door, that's an option that they have. They could also maybe put an order form at your place of work or at a different local business, maybe at a senior center. She can say, oh, we're going to come the week we get our cookies, we're going to come and deliver cookies. So she could go to a senior center. She might have the ability to go to I don't know, what would you think, Kim? Maybe like a college dorm and take orders and tell everyone she's coming on a certain day to deliver. And I think we talked about banks earlier. A bank is a great place. Any big office building, my goodness, people would love to have their orders taken and then have that service of a delivery of the cookies to their home or to their office. I mean, that would just be delightful. And so in those cases, if you're going to deliver to a big office building or to, a dorm or something, instead of having each person put their own, home address, you'll want to make sure they say, Smith's dorm, room 7, or First Interstate Bank upstairs, or what have you, so that they're making sure that that's part of the delivery that girl is planning. You are also welcome in once the girl has filled out her order card completely, which happened to me probably day 3 of the cookie sale when I was 7, 8, 9. You are welcome to print out versions from our website. You could make a copy or two at the outset when it's still blank to make sure that she has enough room to continue taking orders. Also, if it ends up going to a piece of notebook paper on a clipboard, that is okay too, as long as you know exactly what the customer wants and that you've made a note that their payment has been taken. We always recommend taking payment up front for, I would say, a dozen reasons, but the biggest one, in my opinion, is that you don't have to hunt the person down later to get the money. And then you are, driving around town with the cookies in your car for a week because you can't track them down. It's so much easier to take the money up front, and then you can leave the cookies with a little thank you note at their desk, in their dorm with their RA or something like that. Just you're able to make deliveries 1,000% easier. Wouldn't you agree with that, Kim? Is that how you've experienced
Oh yeah, 100%.
it?
I know my daughter in the past she's written a little like support me in my troop sign. And it has like their goal, like her personal goal for how many cookies she wants to sell, a troop goal. So like, maybe we want to try to go to the amusement park, or we're doing a community service project to help animals. And then I would take it to work. My husband would take it to work and, just kind of sits on the desk. And as people come over, because, they already know, most of our coworkers know we have Girl Scouts. So it's just hey, oh, is it cookie time? Like, let me put down my order. And so they'll just, start writing down their orders on this little thing that my daughter's already presented. Hey, would you support me with this? Another thing that we've done is I call it a trick or treat. So we'll take a day and we will go visit local businesses like the bank. And we as council have gotten several requests from banks for girls to stop in so that their employees can purchase cookies, and go through and just go either office to office or one of the banks that my daughter would stop at. We've got a friend who's one of the managers, and she would just do like an all call on Teams and just be like, hey, we've got a Girl Scout in the lobby downstairs. Anybody wants to get some cookies, come on down. We've also set it up where I will message her ahead of time and be like, hey, we're going to stop by on this date when my daughter doesn't have school, and she'll have her wagon full of cookies if anyone, wants to make a pre-order, and we'll just have those orders ready and bagged up so that we can deliver them. And then when we bag up the orders, we put a cute little thank you in there. And on the back of the thank you is hey, should you run out, here's a way to order more. Just as another because they're going to finish that box of cookies and just be like, oh, they really do want some more.
Well, Kim, that's a great point, especially for places where it's like not your own workplace, but a place where the employees of the bank don't necessarily know the girl and so don't know where to get more cookies. So having a callback insert, the girl can certainly decorate a thank you, and then have her QR code on the back or a way to contact her to make sure they can get more cookies. Some of the other ways that we have here on our slide are lemonade stands. So lemonade stand is a type of cookie booth. I would almost call it a personal cookie booth, but it's where you might stand at like a girl would have a lemonade stand in your yard or at the clubhouse of your apartment complex or your neighborhood, something like that. It's a place where they're physically static, so they're standing somewhere and selling cookies. Typically, that's done once cookies are in hand. It's much easier to get folks to give you the money and say yes to the sale when the cookies are being transacted right there. I would say a lemonade stand is probably less successful just for taking orders. Another way the girls can sell cookies is through a walkabout. Now, in the image that was selected here, you can see that the girl has a cookie cart, and the cart has physical cookies in it. So that's another time when I think it's more successful when you have cookies in hand to do those walkabouts, but you could also do that with an order card. It's especially effective, to me at least, in your own neighborhood where you know those neighbors. If you're going, door to door 5 miles away, I would say make sure you've got the cookies in hand. But if it's people you know, typically an order form is sufficient. We also have something called a mom and me booth, which is different from a lemonade stand in that it's not at your place of residence or in a clubhouse. It's more of a council registered, maybe not necessarily council secured, but a booth that is registered with the council where a mom and or any adult, seriously, that the mom trusts with her cookies, her girl, and her money, and where one Girl Scout is there, or Girl Scouts who are siblings who are all part of Girl Scouts. So it may be difficult if each girl is in a different troop. That might be difficult for inventory purposes if they're just doing it once, but maybe they do two, for example, if the girls are in two different troops and they credit the sales to Lisa and use Lisa's cookies on one day, and then credit the rest to Sally and use Sally's inventory on another day. So parents with two girls in two different troops, this will require some organization and maybe cookie inventory in different rooms of the house, different spaces in the living room, something like that. But do make sure you keep the money and the records separate in that case. Then we also have online, which again is a very easy way for you to have your girl have cookies available not only to folks in her area, but also to folks outside your area. So we were talking about, grandma in another state. Many families have folks all across the country. I've got folks from, Florida to Washington in my family, and
Oh, we
most
won't even talk
places in
about
between.
mine.
Yeah. Yeah. So there are all sorts of opportunities. One thing you'll want to make sure when you are going through the cookie program, when your girl has an online store, you need to make sure that you are checking for online orders, because those, for the ones that need to be delivered, the girl delivered, those need to be approved within 5 days or they essentially disappear. So do make sure that you're checking that. I would recommend every 2 to 3 days, just so you can approve orders. And the reason why we do that is that if there is someone who orders cookies in, I don't know, Arizona, and they've asked for girl delivery, we certainly don't expect you to drive to Arizona to deliver them or to even mail them to Arizona yourself. That's a situation where I would cancel that order. But you want to make sure that it's someone that you're comfortable visiting. It might not necessarily be someone you know, but someone in an area that you're comfortable going. People, when they go through the system, have already paid for the cookies. So that's an easy one. You don't have to track them down for the funds, but you do need to, if you agree to deliver the cookies, you do need to make sure that they get delivered in a timely manner. We also recommend any of the ways that you and your girl choose to sell the cookies, do make sure that you're managing the customer expectations. One of those expectations is, they might be ordering cookies on January 2nd or January 10th or January 20th or some, early part of the season. And we don't even get our cookies until mid-February at the earliest. So make sure that they know that if they're ordering in January, that they understand that those cookies are not coming until late February. And we get so many calls at council, where are my cookies? And my cookies haven't been delivered. If your girl is able to manage those expectations, the customer will have a much better experience. One other type of cookie booth that I don't see here on this slide. I don't know if it's coming up in another slide or if it's just not on here, but there is also a troop cookie booth. So that is one where you have multiple girls from typically the same troop using troop inventory, and then those sales get divided between the girls who are at the booth. So the girls who operate the booth get the credit, and it's spread equally, although maybe in a different manner for different troops. But that's another place where it's important to manage expectations and make sure that the families understand how the volunteer is going to be divvying up those sales credits.
It's actually on the next slide.
Oh, perfect. I had not memorized them.
It's okay.
Okay, well, all right. Well, Kim, do you want to take it away?
Sure. So the troops do have most all of the same options as a girl does when it comes to ways that the troop can take orders. They can, have the girls take, orders by the order card. They can have them do online. They can just do the booths. The booths, they do have, the option for the troop booth, as Kim had just mentioned. So this is your traditional, air quotes around traditional, cookie booth. It's multiple girls that are all in the same troop. They are unrelated. And then you've got two unrelated and background checked adults at the booth with them. They have to be unrelated for just double checking, financial reasons, because there is a lot of money that can be involved with a cookie booth. Then this is a booth that is outside a local business. This business can either be secured by the council or it can be secured by the troop. So if mom and dad happen to run a local pizza place, the troop can request and say, hey, one of my troop parents owns this business and they would like to do a cookie booth there. Can we do that? These are the dates we'd like to have. These are the times that we'd like to be there. And as long as it's not, next door to a liquor store or, something that the girls cannot sell in front of, that location will most likely be approved for a cookie booth. The other option that the troops have that is a little bit harder for an individual girl is a drive-through booth. So this type of booth is similar to your drive-through at your restaurant. The girls will set up their booth just outside or out of the trunk of a vehicle. Customers then drive up, place their order, pay for it, pull forward, and receive their order. In this booth situation, girls must always be monitored by an adult, and the girls should never reach into a customer's vehicle. If a customer has to reach through the window to grab a bag that the girl is offering them with their cookies in them, that is okay, but the girl should not be reaching into the vehicle to drop the cookies in the customer's lap. Now, one of the important things to know is troops don't have to do all these options. And additionally, as the program is optional for an individual family, the program is optional for a troop as well. However, if the troop, does opt out of the product programs, they may not be able to do any outside fundraising. We do have a rule in our council that troops have to participate in at least one of the two programs, so either fall product or the cookie program, in order to be eligible to do outside fundraising. But they could do outside fundraising. They could, host a car wash or a cakewalk, and things like that, just so that they could get some extra funds, like if they are trying to plan a big trip or have a big community service project that they want to do, or if the girls are older and they're working on their higher awards and they just need a little bit of extra funds for whatever that project is. They do have that option for additional fundraising as long as they've participated in one of the council run programs. So knowing that troops do have options, they can choose these different options based on the troops' goals, on the ability and the ages of their girls, on the availability of additional adult help in their troops. So maybe, your troop consists of a few, shyer girls, maybe you've got 6 girls, 3 of them super shy. Partner them with one of the girls that's a little bit more outgoing at a cookie booth. And that way they get to develop those skills kind of on their own terms, but they're still feeling involved because they're still there. They have a friend there who's, kind of doing all that talking. And by the end of that booth, that girl who's been kind of standing in the background will be up in front. She will be asking the customer questions. She has to, kind of build that little bit of confidence on her own, but it will show up. Maybe your troop struggles getting extra parent involvement for a troop booth. Try focusing more on a walkabout, or give each girl a mom and me booth instead. Not every cookie booth has to be a troop booth. If you can't get the parent involvement for a troop scheduled booth, maybe it has to turn into a mom and me booth. I've heard it happen so many times of just I couldn't get another parent, so now it's just me and my daughter. It happens a lot, actually. The other thing about the walkabouts is, who said they had to be just one girl? The image that we had on the previous slide, we had a whole little group of girls that went through and did their walkabout with the little cart. So the whole troop could go take a couple of wagons once they have cookies on hand, fill up their little wagon, take a map, and just take on a whole neighborhood. That way, they're canvassing a whole area. They've got a couple of adults, that are supervising them, and they can just keep going.
All right, next slide, please. Okay, so we talked about at the very outset that there are some non-negotiables for the cookie program and fall product program outside of all of the things that are optional. First, the service units and troops, each one of those need volunteers. We don't expect any one individual volunteer to do all of the cookie stuff, for example, but the volunteers that work on the cookie and fall product programs really do need to be registered Girl Scout members, background checked, and trained. So they need to go to the training session and or watch them on our GS Learn or on our video channel. Money management is critical. I told Kim before we just started recording today that I was going to do my receipt clap. And so that is receipts, receipts, receipts. Every single transaction. So when you are receiving cookies or fall product, when you are giving cookies from the troop to a girl or from a girl to a girl, or however that transaction is taking place, you don't need receipts for the customers, but you definitely need receipts as you are transferring cookies or money from girls to troops or troops to troops or what have you. And then also making sure that you are submitting funds regularly to your troop volunteer so they can get those funds into the bank and so they can be submitted in a timely manner. We also want to make sure that girls do what they can. So we've mentioned before that it is okay to take a girl's order form to your place of work, but we want to make sure that the girl is participating. This is all about the skills. So do have the girl make a sign, send the orders back with a thank you note, even pack the orders herself, deliver the product herself. Any piece of it that she is able to do, please have her do the doing. Girls really do learn by doing. Again, if the parent is posting a link on social media or, helping send emails, same thing. The girl does what she can. She maybe composes her message, or she practices her pitch with you, records her video, that sort of thing. Communication is critical. Please do attend your troops cookies and camp meeting where goals are set and family training takes place. Read the materials that come in. They could be printed materials. They might be materials that are electronic on our website. We send emails regularly. We have a newsletter for our council that cookie and fall product material are in also. And if you need help, please tell a volunteer immediately. As the clock ticks and it gets closer and closer to the end of the program, volunteers and staff have fewer and fewer ways we can help you. So please, the minute something comes up, please do communicate to a volunteer, or if you're unable to reach the volunteer or frankly aren't comfortable reaching out to the volunteer, our next slide has our contact information. We want to help you, so let us know immediately. Similarly, if your plans change, or the next bullet, if you have your girl is sick or you're sick and you're not able to operate a booth, please do let someone know. The volunteer can drop the booth registration so that another troop can pick it up. Maybe they have their goals have changed or their availability has changed, and they would love to pick up a booth that you're not able to operate. And then the last piece is accountability. You'll be accountable not only to your girl, but other girls in her troop, to the troop as a whole. And then you're also accountable to council. So again, planning ahead really does help everyone succeed. Please do make thoughtful decisions and serious considerations before you commit to something. So, if you're iffy on going to a booth, please don't say yes to the volunteer and then flake or drop it. Please do, again, just take a moment, take a breath before you say yes. We want you to say yes, obviously. We will encourage yes, but we would like it to be a solid yes, please. And then again, following through by doing what you say you'll do. Again, committing is important. And also being certain when you do that is important. And then mirroring the Girl Scout Promise and Law. We talked about that in our very first episode, and we'll continue talking about the Girl Scout Promise and Law. But here it's being considerate, being kind, being a sister to every Girl Scout, which does include the troop volunteers and also the council members. We are all Girl Scouts, and we are all working together in harmony to have every girl succeed beyond her wildest dreams. And we can do that together and not by having this be a contest. Right, Kim?
Exactly.
All right. So it sounds like we are ready for our final slide here, which is to make sure that you're aware of how to get in touch with us. So the very best way to get in touch with us is through customer care. Kim and I are embarking on a life in different states now. So we're not just right around the corner in the office. We can't just, poke each other on the shoulder and say, hey, could you take a look at this? We will be working through what we call it a queue. So it's our queue of questions and needs that folks have. And we work on that from different locations. And so having you reach out to customer care or our customer care phone number, which is listed here, helps immensely, so that we can prioritize and get to each question, or frankly, many questions that have the word cookies or the word fall product in it aren't really a cookie department question. So this also gives us the opportunity to prioritize questions and needs to other departments within Girl Scouts of Silver Sage as well. And so having shared that, our very last slide is always to thank you for joining us, for being here, for paying attention, and for prioritizing your girl's skills and her experience in Girl Scouting. We thank you so very much, and we'll look forward to seeing you on our very next episode of Cookie Bites.